Welcome to today's word. Today's scripture comes from Book of Revelation, chapter 19, verse 17 to 18. Then I saw an angel standing in the sun, and he cried with a loud voice, saying to all the birds that fly in the midst of heaven, "Come and gather together for the supper of the great God, that you may eat the flesh of kings, the flesh of captains, the flesh of mighty men, the flesh of horses, and of those who sit on them, and the flesh of all people, free and slave, both small and great." Now, who are all these people that are mentioned here? The flesh of kings and flesh of captains and mighty men, horses, free slave people. These are people who stand against God, and then they follow the beast and the governments who actually support them. They are all gathered together at Armageddon, and their armies led by the beast and the nations who stand against God. They know this is the final battle. All the birds are mentioned here. It is mentioned because they are to feast on the flesh of fallen armies and the people. So total destruction is proclaimed, and they cannot escape from the judgment of Christ. Yes, it's almost to the finish. The judgment falls upon the world. This war is fought between good and evil. Sometimes the wars broke out between nations for their territorial gain or financial gain or ideology differences. There might be wars that could break out and kill the innocent people in due process, but this is not the case. This is fight for justice and holiness that comes from God. They all sin against God, and they did wicked things in their life. They know exactly what they have done. Now, for all of us, what kind of battle are we facing or fighting? We need to know that we're on God's side, and God is there, and He's fighting on behalf and for us. It is so easy to entangle in non-trivial fights that really does not mean anything. We sometimes do that and waste our time and effort and energy and get discouraged. But for all of us, we need to fight the good fight that stands for God's love and His righteousness and holiness. Today, remember, you have to fight the good fight and know that the battle that you're fighting is already won, because God is with you and He knows your heart. If you're fighting for wrong things in your life, let that go. If you're fighting for what is good, then continually fight through and trust that God will deliver you. Never give up. Seek His truth, receive His way to deal with the situation. He will instruct you and guide you through.